One of the biggest problems with the online business space is booking meetings for your offer. And many online businesses look towards advertising, email marketing, organic marketing to grow their attention and in return grow the amount of meetings they're booking. But that is not the core problem, and it just causes them to burn out and eventually quit because they're not booking any meetings even though they're trying as hard as they can. And the core reason is because of their setting capabilities. Just because you have a good advertisement or a good organic marketing post or something like that, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have to set the lead that comes through. You need to have the skills to do so. And that's exactly what I'm going to be going over today. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I used my process to help my client book over 120 meetings in 1 month, 70 of them coming from Instagram outbound as well as inbound. All 70 of them from me. So a little background on me. I started out with my own little agency doing helping gyms just grow their social medias and do a little advertising on the side, and it did work out. But one of the biggest problems I had was booking meetings for my offer. And so I then thought maybe it's my niche. And so I transitioned into a new niche, which is the roofing niche. And I did book a couple of meetings because I've got built up my skills. And it still wasn't anything like the big players in the space that are booking hundreds of meetings every single month. So I took a step back from the agency space and I thought I would build up my skill in the setting space. So that's exactly what I did. I started setting for multiple offers, smaller ones, until eventually I built up that skill and landed my first high ticket client, you can say, which was doing around 50K, 40K per month when I first came on to help him out. And so after implementing my processes to help set for his offer and help him book more meetings, I basically helped him have his biggest month yet, which was 60K in 1 month. And he booked over 128 meetings, as you can see here, with 102 of them showing up and 5 of them rescheduling, as well as 10 of them canceling. So you can see versus the prior 30 days, he booked 71 more meetings since that last month, and this was in the month of July. So obviously it helped out a ton, and he was able to close many more deals than his last month. So the strategy that I use is very simple, but so many agencies, coaches, consultants mess it up, and that's the reason why they don't book any meetings. So first, like always, you get on that social media, whichever platform is best for you, and you either use 2 strategies. You either get inbound, which is harder and it takes more time to build up, but it is much easier to sell and set appointments from inbound, or you do outbound, which is easier to do, but it is harder to close. But if you do the outbound the right way, the closing for that is going to be so much easier. So the key is there's a framework you want to use when creating your outbound messaging. And the framework I use is I first create an attention grabbing hook. If you're watching this video, you probably were reached out to me with an attention grabbing hook. So these are some of the examples that I have listed. I'm with the FBI and I just have a few questions. My offer is good, just hear me out. 911, urgent. These are all offers that just grab the attention, and you have it in that little slide, so when they first see the message, they only see this attention grabbing hook, and they'll click your message and think, what is this message all about? And they'll read it. Then you just want to build rapport once they respond to that first message. So if they laugh, whatever they do, you build rapport. If they say no to that first message, then you just leave it. You don't go back to them. But if they do respond in some positive way, you want to build rapport, ask a couple questions, so you can then eventually really pitch your service directly. And then you book the meeting, and then you send a video that kind of explains your offer, warms them up a little bit, and it kind of makes them like that inbound lead that would have came in if you had an inbound lead come in. Now, inbound is basically the same process, but it's just a little less steps on the way. So you qualify them, just ask a couple questions, like I said, building that rapport, just qualifying them and making sure that they can afford your offer. You then book the meeting and you send the video the same way you did. And so that's basically the strategy I use. And it's pretty simple, as you can see, but the key to this is doing it correctly. And many agencies, consultants, coaches, they do it wrong. They send a message that is indirect, and they try and build rapport, sending messages that make no direct connection to their offer. So they're just spiraling down this rabbit hole, and eventually when they do try and pitch their service, the person wasn't even noticing that they were trying to sell them, and then that person gets mad, and unfortunately you lose that lead that could have been a lead if you just pitched them directly off the bat. Also, agencies use the same old messages with, hey, I'll get you 10 booked meetings within the first month. Would you like more information? And it just, you have to differentiate yourself, because if you don't, you'll blend in with the rest of the crowd and the space, because there's so many people coming into this online space using the same old messaging. So if you can figure out a message with a different type of flair or change to it, you're going to differentiate yourself so much that you're going to be booking a bunch of meetings. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. So green is done with you, yellow is done for you, and red is done yourself. So this is the exact process I take my clients through whenever I onboard them and I want to help them scale up the amount of meetings they're booking. So we first go through with them on a call, and we pick their top 3 most efficient channels. So either Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whichever channel is the most efficient. Then we craft the messaging, and there's 3 real components to the initial message that you want to be sending. And that's the hook, which we went over, the offer delivery, how you pitch your offer within that message to make it seem like it's something that they would want, and then that irresistible CTA, which is the call to action. And you want to make it irresistible. So one of the call to actions I used is, if you don't find this information valuable, I'll send you $150 for wasting your time. And that's kind of a irresistible hook that people will say, whatever, I might as well just see what he has to say. And just kind of brings them in and just makes them want to respond. Those are the 3 components, and when you work with me, we'll craft those components together so you can find the perfect message that'll fit your audience well. Then you find your audience on those 3 efficient channels. So if that's Facebook, you find a group that has your audience and then that you could reach out to. Or if that's Instagram, you leverage another person's audience and reach out to them. And there's multiple different audiences within these social media channels that you can niche down and find what you're looking for. Then we get on a call and brainstorm content to cater towards the audience. So we help you create that VCL, video sales letter, to help cater towards your audience and send to once they've booked the meeting, so you can warm them up and pretty much make them like an inbound lead, as well as just content to warm up your pages and just show people that you're constantly posting, constantly doing new things. And then you do it yourself. You just create the content, film it, edit it, and it doesn't even have to be edited well. It just has to provide value for the person who's watching it. Then after all of that's done and created, we start sending out those messages so we can start booking you meetings. So we first prospect the prospects to find which prospects are the best for your offer. We then send out that initial message, which is the 3 components I was talking about. And then we go through this educational convo, qualifying them and just building rapport. And then we eventually do book that meeting, and then you close those deals. We also do provide a little bit of sales training to help with you closing those deals. So you make sure that you close at least 50% of the deals of the meetings that we book for you. And then finally, we just automate this process with AI. So once we find that everything's working, the messaging is working really well, and the convo, educational convo, the structure is working really well, and we can have them book meetings, and the video is working very well, we then put into place an AI that automates the entire system for you. So you don't have to lift a single finger on the acquisition side of things. And once that's set in place, you're basically done, and you're just able to continuously book meetings with no work on your end. You just have to check in on it every couple of days to make sure it's working. So my offer is, I guarantee I will double the amount of appointments you have per month within the first 48 days of signing with me. So if you're interested in just seeing what I have to offer and getting more info and getting more knowledge on the setting and how to set meetings for your offer, schedule a call. I'll give you some more knowledge on how to do so. I'm not trying to sell you anything, just trying to give out as much knowledge as possible. So if you're interested, schedule that call. It'll be linked in my bio. Otherwise, I hope you guys really found value within this video, and I hope to speak to you guys on the meeting soon. See ya.